people to come in. We got those people.
Okay.
Let's sign in here.
Oh, my socks don't match. Wait, hold on.
All right. It's a little bit. Very good. Very good. Woo! Rally.
Okay.
Where's my, there it is.
Drink.
My life is a constant myriad of, where did I put the thing I just had in my hand that I was just using 2 seconds ago? You know?
Or what was I doing? What was I doing there?
I know, I love it. Hello, my friends. Can you hear us okay?
Should probably get the glasses.
I know, I can't see anything up there. But, someone is logged in as court. Yeah. I love it. Our shirts say, let me go close real quick. We're twinning. We are twinning. So that way I can just point to my t-shirt. I hope it settles well with you. But given the partial outrage-driven corporate news spreading biased information, what would be your solution to create a more objective and neutral message without impending on the First Amendment?
I'm sorry?
I don't know. From somebody named Richard, talking about what's a solution to create a more objective and neutral message without impending on the First Amendment. Well, I think this, Pam is trying to impede on our ability to practice our First Amendment.
Yeah, because we're not impeding on her. She can say whatever she wants.
So that might be a question for her. But Merry Christmas, my friend. Happy Festivus to us all. Hello, hello. Okay, so it is now 7:05.
Let's go.
Yeah, right? That sounds like a New Jersey lawyer to me, right? I know. Well, I hope they turn on, and I can't talk today. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've done anything like this, and ever since November, I've just been on the go with work, yoga, kids, my dad's estate. It's been a mess, and mom's been traveling everywhere. So it's been a minute. So excuse us, hello, as we get our footing again.
Right, and we've not ever done a live from my house, so that took a whole bunch of trying to figure out how we were going to do it. So
sweet, hi. Hello, Debbie. Court, I love it. I love court because we are here at court now. We're holding court. Mom and I was telling Mom yesterday how I wish we had red tent dresses.
Oh my gosh, yes, little red tank dresses, that would have been great.
Check it off the list.
Teresa's
Hello?
calling in.
Oh! Our special
We're
guest came early.
Hi, Teresa, we're live.
Hi, how are you?
We're good.
That's
good.
Hi, Teresa.
This is Tracy, my daughter-in-law, or
Hi,
Trapper.
Tracy.
Hi,
I'm
nice to-
Trapper.
It's okay. Everybody knows my name now. So nice to meet you finally.
Yeah, nice to meet you. I'm expensive brunette.
Ah.
Everybody knows my name. I gave it up a long time ago.
That's right. That's right. Expensive brunette. Elle Sweet says hi, Teresa. Hi, friends.
How are
Oh my
you?
God, yes.
Everybody says hi. They all remember you, all recognize you.
Well, I'm actually a turkey. Remember that?
That's
Oh,
right.
that's right, yes. Thank you, Pam, that was awesome. Yeah, that was,
I'm a turkey.
Right.
I'm a turkey.
I know that endeared you to her, or endeared her to you.
Can everybody hear Teresa on the call?
Can you guys-
Can you guys hear, or should we turn it up? Turn your listening ears on.
Get 'em on.
Put them on.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy
Happy
Festivus.
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 Yes, this
the
is
rest
what
of
we're
us.
celebrating. Festivus for the rest of us. Okay, so Teresa ain't no turkey. She's great. So I'm assuming that everybody can hear her.
I didn't think I was a turkey until I saw that. I think I made
How
a
did-
joke when I saw that I didn't even get a gold watch upon my departure.
I know. How did you feel about that? Because it feels like that was sprung on you. As far as her calling you a turkey.
Yeah, I know that everybody said that, somebody told Pam that, they were reading in there, but actually somebody told me about that. So I had to hop in there and sure enough, I was a turkey.
Yep.
Yep.
I wasn't very happy about that. After years of being told I was a friend, but I had left that relationship a couple months before, a few months before that, as I've discussed with Nina over the last few days. So
Right. And what led you to start to withdraw from your relationship with Pam? Was it her treatment of the angels and Rosie?
generally, well, Rosie, first of all, yeah, that was really bad stuff. Rosie was not well, and Rosie left on her own accord, and she got cut right out.
Mhm.
Ashley was cut out, which was really bad. They were
You're talking about Ashley H?
And,
Ashley Hernandez, that's who
That's
she's
not,
talking about.
that wasn't cool by me.
Teresa?
I don't do well with
Teresa?
that. I
Teresa?
also,
Teresa, hold on, Teresa, hold on just a second, hold on. You're talking about Ashley Hernandez, right?
correct.
Yes, okay, go ahead, sorry.
I can't talk too much about Ashley, because, I don't have permission to do that.
Right.
But I have been in contact with her. She's a really, really good person. I think all of you probably could surmise that, and she was really good friends with Pam. Obviously, she flew home back to the East Coast from California for a wedding, a couple weddings. I was invited to the Pam and Matt's vows. I was ill, seriously ill for that, and I couldn't make it. There was, I guess I just got a bad vibe then, but then last fall I was on first my husband had a massive heart attack, and there was really no, too bad. And
So she didn't send you any
I think
condolences or
everybody knows I had
anything?
a lot of stress going on. My dad did pass away.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I thank you so much. Yeah, it was a really tough fall, and he passed away in May.
I'm so sorry.
And that was a week after I had this past year has been brutal. I had a partial mastectomy, and he passed away a week after that. So it's just been a really rough year. My husband and I have had subsequent health issues. So Pam was aware of some of those, and I think some of you noticed when I was out on the Cape last year that I was in an accident, and I think some of you pointed out they just didn't really care. Plus, she was dragging me into things that I wasn't doing.
Yes.
And I I was getting more and more comfortable, and I was out on the Cape last year, and at 3:00 in the morning, I received a text.
Listen to this, guys.
I was in the group. I had made a post that I was really seriously annoyed with her, and she said somebody told her that. I've sent that information to Nita, and prior to that, she sent me information with screenshots with Nita's picture and information including email and phone number, and made it out to be that she didn't know Nita or her family. And I've been told now that she had for many, probably months, right, Nita, or years?
Yeah,
known
she
these
knew
people,
Tracy,
and-
she knew Kyle, my kid.
Kyle, yeah,
Mhm.
and I'm dumbfounded what she was trying to do there.
Well,
It's not good.
no. And you were saying that we think that Pam, was
Pretending to be you.
pretending to be you in our Reddit
Yeah,
group.
that's great. I had, Nita and I had a bumpy start.
Yes.
We're not bumpy anymore.
Go figure.
Go figure.
Go figure.
Somebody went into the group, and it went into your group and went into the actual, live with Chelsea and impersonated me. And, they gave Chelsea a really hard time. And, I had a really good relationship with everybody on that team. And Chelsea was in tears. The people were attacking me on the live. I wasn't on the live. I was let to be known that was happening. And I got on the phone with Megan and I told her it wasn't me.
Mhm.
And she said, yep, no, I know it's not you. And then Pam also sent me who it was the same night she was texting me
Mhm.
about Nita.
And it wasn't either of us who was pretending to be
Those
you.
accounts were not real accounts.
No, but it wasn't either of us that was pretending to be you, right, Teresa?
That's correct. That's
Mm.
correct. It was, but I went 62 ways to Tuesday, and those counts were not real accounts or real people that I could find. And in my former positions, I have the ability to find people, and I could not find these people. So, and then we did one last swipe of due diligence today just to make sure it wasn't an email of somebody that is connected to them, and it wasn't. So, now whether they are real people and they're just, change their emails or what, I don't know, but I can't find these people.
Well, which is funny because this ties into, we had an Ask Me Anything or an AMA yesterday with
Right.
one of her previous employees. And that previous employee had said that she had witnessed or knew that Pam would take private information from comments sold to create fake accounts to talk to others during lives when she wasn't on the live. So if she was able to do that, it's just so
Correct.
suspicious that she
Correct.
called you at 3
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning to get ahead of this story.
That was coming out, that you would find out in the morning.
Mm-hmm. That someone was impersonating
The
you.
thing that's where I got a little, and she asked me why I was annoyed, and I've sent you, Anita and Tracy, I've sent both of you what that text string was.
Yes.
And I said, you should have gotten ahead of this. And the other thing I said to Nita today was she never went in there and defended me.
Never. No. Never did.
And that, it's always somebody else's problem.
Well, she admits, she likes to say that she never goes into our Reddit, but the text messages that you had sent us regarding that specific issue, she says that she went into our Reddit and saw what was happening.
Right.
Correct.
So she's a
and she
liar.
never
Really?
defended it. So the other thing that has happened is she if I understand correctly, and you can correct me, but I'm pretty sure I'm remembering because I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off because I have another family that's ill
I'm so sorry.
that came up yesterday. Nita is being blamed for ending the business, basically being the head of this whole clan, so to speak, and it's a RICO charge, which
Right.
absolutely astounds me.
Which is
And
hilarious.
I
because
have text messages from Pam that I've forwarded to Nita
I saw
that
too.
says she wants to stop doing the business.
Uh-huh.
She can't do it anymore.
Mhm.
And that was while this is still back last fall, not this past fall, I'm sorry, a year ago, last September, right, Nita?
Right,
Am I
right.
correct on that?
Yes.
And
you're correct.
she's let the girls know that. And I said, the girls don't seem to know that. And I have communications from Megan that they didn't know that.
And we have those communications as well. Mhm.
Right. So that was all upsetting to me. And, I was really, and I'm not tooting my own horn, I was very generous with the girls.
Mhm.
I would, send them money or gift certificates or whatever. I tried to be really nice and understanding. Little did I know that while I'm doing this, they're not being treated well, which absolutely it really makes me very sad. I own my own business. I sold it. I told Nita, but I've owned my own business. My husband and I still have one of the businesses. They're not small businesses. And you don't treat employees that way. I'm the head of an ethics board for the whole county in which I live. I've done a lot of things where you just don't treat employees that way. And, I was also a tax agent in the state in which I live.
Mhm.
And I quick glanced today at what went on last night, and there's some problems there. That
Oh,
just-
would you like to expand on that?
Yes,
Yeah.
let's hear that.
Well, I mean, you can't pay employees 1099. It's for contractors. So basically by doing that, you've avoided paying withholding. You're paying your employees, they're responsible. So basically the employee, I'm going to use the example now. I haven't done tax in a long time. I'm not allowed to produce my own tax returns because I obviously, when you're a tax agent, you're not allowed to do that anymore. So you are 1099s are for contractors only, or vendors or whatever. You cannot pay employees that way because there's no withholding, zero withholding. Right. So let's just say the percentage you're responsible for is 7.5%, and the employee pays 7.5% of the tax. And then the withholdings for Medicare, Medicaid, your unemployment insurance, your Social Security. So the bottom line is these people who've worked this long, and I don't know how long those 1099 payments were going on, they have no credits into, say, Social Security. There's been no proper withholdings. No. And God knows what else was going on. I'm not going to speculate, but, that's just illegal. It's not proper.
We were told by a lot of former Angels that they were paid through PayPal. And then there came a time that they were then put on like a 1099 basis.
If they're paying cash, that's definitely not. If it's cash, and if that's what they're telling you, then you can't do that. That's, the IRS definitely, and again, I was with the state, of course, trained to look at 1090, 1040s, all kinds of taxes. Let's just talk about sales and withholding tax. Those are considered trust taxes, where the employer is absolutely required to hold them aside. You can't use them for your own personal use. You have to file them quarterly. Department of Labor in the state and the federal government, they frown very it's not cool if you're not paying them. If you're not paying
No.
withholding tax, you're not, and your sales tax and with the state, you're in big trouble.
Right.
So in New York State, for instance, if we don't get a sales tax return and you're a business and you're, not paying sales tax, that's not happening.
It's not
Also, it used to be, for instance, and again, I don't know if she's done this or not. So I'm just going to say, you used to be able to say, and I'm going to use LL Bean as an example. LL Bean didn't have box stores in every brick and mortar stores in every state. So they weren't required to collect tax in New York State when, back in the day. Now they have, in my state, they have brick and mortar store, and they are required, if I order at a LL Bean in Maine, they have to collect tax and pay it to the county and to the state in which I live.
Yes. Sales
and
tax.
that doesn't go, though. They're really, the IRS is cracking down, and that doesn't, the boutiques, these online boutiques, and the ones I do business with, are collecting tax now. And if you look, and it's not hard to find, you do not have to meet the brick and mortar threshold anymore. If you make X amount of money, which is, depending on the state, you meet what they call an economic nexus, and you are required to charge sales tax. And I did discuss that with her, and it was on deaf ears. I never got a response.
I'm sure.
So,
now, Teresa,
I don't know.
Can you tell me, because Mom was telling me about how you had told her that somebody called the Department of Labor?
I'm not sure that
That wasn't Teresa.
Oh, that wasn't Teresa.
No, that wasn't her. That was
Someone else.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that happened or not. No, I don't know anything about that. But if they call the Department of Labor covers anything from sexual harassment claims or withholding tax, or you're not doing W-2s, you're doing 1099s. So I'm not sure if that happened, or I wouldn't know if that happened or not. And then again, I've not seen the books, so I can't say if anything went wrong, but it looks like if people are complaining about it.
Well, yeah, because the angel yesterday had stated that there were a couple times where she had to notify Matt that she was shorted hours. They fixed it, but it's just proof that there wasn't accurate record keeping.
Right.
We were told,
well, and if they were being paid cash, that's a huge problem.
Well, yeah. Well,
that's a huge problem.
We were told that somebody did contact the Department of Labor. I don't know if it was because of they were fighting for. I'm
not sure why they did, but soon after is when things began to change.
Where they got onto 1099.
Right, and we have a screenshot from Pam posting to her group about if you notice that now you're paying taxes and why that is.
Right, but are they on 1099 or are they on a W-2? No, because it should be a W-2. They should have filled out an I-9 to prove that they were legal to work in the United States. They have to fill out a W-4 that shows that what they want withheld. That's the process. They have to fill out an I-9 that shows they're legal to be here and working. They have to bring their birth certificate in, their social security card. Then they have to bring in their and fill out so that's a whole form there, the I-9. Then they have to fill out a W-4, which this is what I want withheld from my check every week. And then that starts the process with the IRS. And the IRS always is the precedent setter. They, for every state, every state doesn't require income tax, but if you're in an income tax state, you file your 1040 and then the numbers cross back over to in New York State, it's a 201. And that's the numbers cross back over. Some things are taxable and not, but we're talking, these girls are working, they're not making, it sounds like a ton of money. I don't know what it is. And you definitely gotta, pay them according to, they're not contractors, so they have to
No.
be making the funds unless, I can't find a reason why they'd be 1099 income. I cannot find it.
Yeah, well, they were on a set schedule.
They had overtime.
They had overtime. They
Right,
were
and
required to be
there's
in
no
place.
zero, I looked high and low before I am saying anything. Prove me wrong. I looked high and low at New Jersey's tax law today before I got on here, that there's none, zero reason they should have been paid 1099 income. Zero. They're employees. They're not contractors.
So we
They're
have a
not
question.
running, for instance,
Mhm.
here's an example. If you're in a salon and you're renting a booth and the is coming back at you from the salon owner because the salon owner is paying you a percentage of your earnings and from that booth, then that's a self-employed person.
Yeah.
And then they file a Schedule S, which is self-employed, and they get 1099s.
That's right.
That's how that works. I file self-employed. I have businesses, but I also have W-2s from my employers. My husband has a W-2. I had the business where it got closed. We sold it in 2019. We had a board of directors. We had to file something called K-2s because they were paid. And we also had to, send our regular employees W-2s. So you have to be very careful with all this or you're gonna get caught. You will eventually get caught.
Eventually, yes.
But
I feel like
it's gonna, I don't, like I said, I don't know how this has not been caught. I don't know if people I don't understand it. I just don't know why that was done.
What about the PPP loan? What happened there? Because she talked to you about it.
I advised her when she said she couldn't. I offered help. I got no answer to that. My only understanding in talking to a few of the people who work with her is that she commingled her business and personal accounts. That's my understanding. And that's probably why she wouldn't have been eligible because she didn't have separate accounts.
Okay.
And I was helping farmers up here. And one of our businesses we own is a farm, and I'm not a farmer. I'm from Long Island, and my family thinks you're crazy, come back. But the entity that should have been helping them was not set up for the PPP loans. So I was helping them, and it wasn't that hard. There are farmers that have a ton of different ways they keep books, but they keep books. You got large farms that have, thousands of head of cattle and, all kinds of different variations of what they have to keep track of. And you have smaller farms that just do general ledgers and they're literally writing it down by pen and paper, but nobody was denied these loans. You have one-person businesses. I didn't have anybody denied a loan for PPP.
Yeah.
Working with them to go through a small bank up here.
Teresa, do you think that she was just too lazy to do it, or didn't know?
I have no idea.
She
didn't respond to me when I said you should really be qualified for that.
There could be a lot of theories as to why she didn't want to go ahead and do it. I would think that it would prove the fact that she was withholding the correct
and that she had the correct amount of employees if she had no records of sending any taxes in for them or anything.
TPP, like I said, I had people, there were other types of loans under that veil. It really didn't matter what kind of employees. You could have been a one-person band and applied for help in that.
Right, but she was
So-
applying for help to pay all these 13 or 15 employees.
Mhm.
If she claims she had 15 employees and the government says, well, that's interesting, did you just get them yesterday? Because
Correct. That's
they're-
probably what would have happened.
Probably. That's what I think happened, is that she just
That's
could not
probably what would have
qualify.
happened. I mean, you had to prove that you had the employees.
That's it.
You had
Right.
to prove.
She
You had to
didn't have
submit.
proof.
She didn't
With
have any
this,
proof.
with the applications, you had to put down your business information, your EIN number, which is your business number. You had to put down your employees' social security numbers. That state, and then to get the loan forgiven at the end, which forgiven,
Yes.
you had to show that they were still working and you didn't get rid of them at the end of COVID.
Mhm.
Those are the basic rules.
So it was so
You know, there were a
easy
lot
to
of
get.
hanger-on things that, you know, I'm not going to get into because I don't know the depth of knowledge of her whole entire business.
Well, we've had a lot of people in our group that applied and got the PPP loans granted to them within days and then also ultimately forgiven.
Mhm.
And the chord that is striking the same throughout those circumstances is that really all you had to do was prove if you had employees, you know, the co-mill, you know, separating the business.
The application wasn't that hard.
Yeah, it's not difficult. So to me, it seems like she just didn't have the basic proof in order to
Well,
get
I mean,
it.
or didn't do it at all. I mean, she may not have just done it at all.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
Well, she didn't want to come up with the proof. She knew she couldn't,
Mm-hmm.
or thought she couldn't, so she didn't even try. But she sure posted about it. She posted that Red Lobster, was it Red Lobster?
Ruth's
Ruth's Chris.
Ruth's Chris.
Bruce
They
Chris.
got one, and
Yeah,
Pam
I
didn't get
don't
one.
remember that post.
Oh, I will post it tonight.
Yeah, because she did. She was complaining about Ruth's Chris getting PPP money, and that's why she couldn't get PPP money.
Right, because now they've run out.
But I do want to pivot here, Teresa, because part of the complaint is that she's accusing Mom and I of creating the Reddit page, which we didn't.
No.
It was Radio. We don't even know Radio's true identity.
Okay.
But anyway, she's accusing us of creating the Reddit and, you know, which caused the ultimate demise
Of their
of
business.
JJ Ray, right? Now, I saw threads or screenshots of conversation between you and Pam and who she thought created the Reddit page.
Correct. She and I'm more than happy to say that she thought that Freckle Poppy was responsible for the Reddit page. And subsequently, I've been shopping with Freckle Poppy for a year and a half. And when I first started shopping there, people from this group, were in there and they were quite mean to me.
Sorry.
And I'm going to
Sorry.
tell you, one thing I will not have happen is have my integrity impugned or my
Yes.
husband's.
I feel the same way.
I'm involved, and Pam well knows this. I'm involved in politics. My husband's involved in politics. And I will not risk my integrity for anything. And she knows it. I've made it clear. And I'm pretty sure, and I went to bat with Freckle Poppy, to tell you the truth, and now it's embarrassing, and I hope Alex hears this and Matt hear this, Maddie, Freckle Poppy. I'm embarrassed that I did, because those people are pretty professional, not even pretty, they're by the book. They're very professional. They run an amazing business. That boutique isn't their only business. That boutique is part of their business. They have a real estate business. They have an amazing customer service team that's just extraordinary. Their shipping is unbelievable. I don't know why she was trying to peg it on them.
I know why.
And frankly, I don't understand that. But I know that in subsequent conversation with some people that are in knowledge with the back of LuLaRoe days, that Alex was a top seller. And Alex is very successful in what she's doing now too, I believe. I mean, I don't know a lot about Alex and Maddie. I stay quiet. I shop.
Well, we have a lot of screenshots from former angels of Pam trash talking Freckle Poppy, as well as ordering them to copy what they do, because that's the look they want to go for.
That's right, I remember that now.
So she was very jealous of Alex Lee.
Yeah, see, I didn't see any of that.
8,
and Pam was
and
not.
Pam was top 25, even though that's why Pam likes to pretend that she was top 8. She wasn't, she was top 25. So.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see any of that.
Yeah.
I was, you know,
Oh, throughout the week,
I'm
Teresa,
very
we're
black. My husband used to annoy me, earlier on in our days, that he was a very black and white person, get business done. And now I am a very black and white person. You got to just get business done.
Yes.
You got to just ignore all the other stuff around you.
I totally agree.
I've been to hell and back. My son was born very ill. I lost his twin.
Oh.
We've been to Boston for 28 of his 31 years living in Boston with all of that. I'm not asking for pity. She knows that, or she chose to forget it. You just have to keep piling on. My mother was sick for 37 years with cancer since I was 5, at various kinds. She died 15 years ago. And I've got a lot of stuff going on. When I say I have a lot of stuff, but you got to just keep going.
Yes.
And it's just, this last couple of years has been terrible for us and this family, and you just got to keep plowing through. Mm-hmm. And I've always told her, keep the circle small, and I can go back and I've saved every text message and everything, and I just don't think that they got that. I don't understand the personal, venting and all that. It's not something that you do. You just don't do it. It'll kill a business in a half a second.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It'll kill anything in a half a second. I mean, you just can't do it.
And it did.
I mean,
it killed her business. If she had
I
a business
think it
in the
did.
beginning,
I mean, and also you go around blaming other people, like, the Legals for your problems. I don't know the Legals that well. I don't know them at all. Let's just say I shop with the Legals, and it's such a different experience because they are not on there giving you all the slobbering and all that. They just do business. If something comes up, like in the last couple of weeks, Alex broke her nose in the summer. She had to have it fixed. You saw it, obviously, because she had a cast on her nose. There was no 9-hour, look what happened to me. It was explained if people didn't understand it, and move on. That's the kind of person I am. Black and white. Let's go. Get it done.
But that the customers in that group provided Pam a place to vent where she could feel better. I'm better than you people are. And so in her mind, I'm better than you because I do such and such, all of this stuff. And
well, I was guilty of it. I mean, I'm guilty of it. She got COVID when she was away. I don't remember if it was Las Vegas or what. I sent her flowers. I was guilty of it. I felt bad. I'm a person that likes to help people. I obviously, because of what I've done with my mother with cancer, and my grandfather and other people, I like to help people. I help people with cancer. I do all their paperwork. I sit with them in hospice. So I like to help people and give them the benefit of the doubt. But when they start sliding sideways, like when Rosie was sick, was sick, and there was just this crap show about it, that's it.
So how did that make you feel? Like, I know how it made me feel when Pam literally cut Rosie out of that angel picture to look for.
Oh my God, I was done.
I mean,
I was already done, but I was already done. And I'm going to tell you, Rosie was sick one day too, and I didn't realize that it was her that was sick, and after that, but when that happened, that hurt Rosie, that hurt me. I mean, let me tell you something, that's just crappy. And that you just don't do things like that for people that you've known for a long time. I'm pretty sure the group knows that Rosie and Pam were friends well before Rosie worked for her. Let's just put it this way, Pam was working for Rosie before any of this stuff started. And you just don't do that to people who are supposed to be your friends.
Well, and Rosie provided a lot of professional advice at no cost.
Correct.
That's my opinion. Rosie didn't say that.
And brought a totally different view to JJ Ray. I mean, there were people on that specifically watched and bought from Rosie. Not from
Rosie, there's nothing that you can ever say bad about Rosie. Nothing, zero.
I agree too.
Rosie has done things for Pam because of Rosie is ultimately loyal.
She is, and she tried to hang in there as long as she could, and it was just heartbreaking that she hung in longer than most of us would.
I mean, listen, we all picked up on it in the group. We're like, that is absolutely ludicrous that she was literally cut out of that picture.
But even before that, remember the live that was on Matt's birthday?
And she was so sick.
And she and Rosie was so sick.
That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah. And then I found out how sick Rosie was, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, she spent not saying Rosie's name.
Not Rosie's name, but talking about how she had to work.
And it's just upsetting.
Yeah, very upsetting that she had to.
Well, everybody works on their birthday. We're all, I'm 7. It's not that we're kids anymore.
I mean,
all of us have to work on our birthdays.
Pam had Matt working on his birthday.
That's right.
Doing the jewelry
on the
behind her on the floor on his birthday.
While she's up there in a bra and shorts.
So I didn't know what the big deal was. Rosie was sick.
Yeah, I know.
Rosie
was in the hospital.
Right.
And in a regular business, you wouldn't even know. She would just say, hey, I'm going to do the live tonight.
No big deal.
No big deal.
Well, and that's the other thing. Don't do it if you don't want to do it, I guess. I mean, but my husband and I literally have not celebrated a birthday or taken the day off to do it. My husband and I have business obligations. And my husband, when I go on vacation, which everybody's like, oh, you get to go away for, our work is 24/7. And my husband has to answer phones with a security desk. I mean, I'm not going to divulge to anybody what he does, but his phone rings at midnight, and if he doesn't hear it, I hear it and I answer it. I mean, you don't get vacations. If we're walking down the street on vacation, you're answering the phone. So I haven't had a birthday celebration. We took time out to go to a restaurant on my 50th birthday 7 years ago. He had to get up and leave because he had an emergency with the business. Well, not our business, his daytime job.
I just want a show of hands. Who here thought or thinks that if Pam hadn't gone live that night, that she and Matt would have done something together to celebrate Matt?
Oh,
who here thinks that? So what was the big deal about Rosie being sick?
I don't know. I really never got that answer. Because, at that time, I didn't know that it was Rosie that was sick. I found out later. I found out later. But that's it. That was one of the, straws that broke the camel's back. You don't treat people like that. And then I'm finding out later that these group chats existed that were beating up on other employees. And then they also beat up, people together. You just can't do that. That's, that reaches, and I hope the lawyers are listening to this, that I have lawyers that are labor attorneys that work with me. I have lawyers that I have 3 law firms that represent me. I work with lawyers all the time. I'm on the ethics committee. Like I said, I chair that in the county. So I have labor attorneys. You can't do that.
Mhm.
And I have to carefully consider cases that come before me with these attorneys. And if you do something like that and it comes before me, you're likely not, unless there's some mitigating circumstance, you're likely not going to keep your job. I'll tell you that.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So, it just doesn't work out well for the person if they're going to start harassing other people, especially if you're a department head.
Right, well, yeah. Well, there was something else that I wanted to ask you, but I forgot, because I just got all caught up in the Rosie thing. Oh, man. There's something else, there's a Megan text, I don't know if we actually got it clear, but there was a time when Pam got on Instagram Live, or she told a story, or Facebook Live, when she was in Hawaii, and she was saying that a cryptic message of, I'm gonna have to make very tough decisions in regards
Correct.
to the business. Now, she said, she had alluded that the girls were very much aware of what she was saying.
They knew.
They were.
They knew. Were they aware that Pam was really thinking about very tough decisions?
No, because I sent you Megan's response to that.
Mm-hmm. Well, Teresa, Mom and I don't ask questions that we don't already know the answers to.
You can my voice, and they will tell you.
You and I, the three of us are on the same page on that.
That's why we're tight.
Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yes, we already know that answer. Yeah, so, what else is on our little list?
So we went over the 3 a.m. phone conversation, Freckled Poppy creating the Reddit, how Pam doxed Mom, sending
Oh, yeah.
Mom's private information outside of comments sold, taking,
Yeah, that was all comment sold screenshots.
and who did she send those to?
Me.
You. And also we heard that she sent those same screenshots to Inner Circle Angels and other customers.
That were like inner circle.
So she was sharing private information from comments sold, sharing them
Because
outside.
the phone number, the email,
Yep.
I believe are on there. Yeah.
My
Address, Nita, you can correct me. I think your address is there too, right?
Yep, it's the account, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that's against the terms of service for comment sold.
Mhm.
So actually, I could sue comment sold. And when I sue Pam, then it could go to comment sold as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with comment sold terms of service at all.
Well, one of their
Housewives-
terms of service is that,
That's what we're alluding to, just real quick. That's what we were saying, is that we have a whole thread of Pam accusing Freckled Poppy of creating our Reddit group. I don't know who Radio is. It could be, but I don't think.
could be.
I highly doubt. Let me
It was
tell you,
messed
those
up.
people, and again, I don't know them. I'm in that group a lot shopping, and I highly doubt that either one of those people have that kind of time with the businesses they run to do any of that.
Well, I'm sure that Pam Webster's not even on their radar.
No.
So why would Freckle Poppy do it? That's in Pam's mind, not in anybody else's.
We have a question for you, Teresa. Did Pam ever talk to you negatively about other customers?
No, and I actually did, before I called here into this today, I checked with somebody to see if she ever talked negative. Because I saw that she never did. No, I never got any of that. I asked if she was in talking negatively about me, and as far as the person I was talking to, no, that they know of. But I do know that she pitted people, according to the person, as employees against each other, because that person had her phone at a show, and they were group chat while this person was at one of these markets, and they were making fun of this woman who's an employee while this woman had her phone.
I heard the same story.
And it's devastating.
It is. But this is how she worked. She pitted,
Yeah.
she created an inner circle and then pitted those women in the inner circle against each other.
Yeah, and, you know, this is again where I say, where are the adults? Because you just can't behave that way when you reach a certain age. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make sense to me. Mm-hmm. I live in a different world. I think we are living in a different world. I really do. Mm-hmm. I don't have any tolerance or patience for that. I have a son that's 31 years old who's had to be an adult for a very long time, and he owns his own business. I have nothing to do with it, and he's making it on his own, and I have no idea how anybody could behave this way.
Well, and it's not, but we have to remember, I sent you the live that Pam did, her truth-telling live, where her mother was sitting right there. So when Pam is speaking about all of these, you know, they're liars or whatever, and this is the truth, and I'm telling you the truth, and her mother is going, oh yeah, that's exactly right. You buried your baby, you know, your fetus in a Louis Vuitton box in the backyard.
Yeah, see, I didn't get a chance to look at those because of the family emergency this weekend, but yeah, that I'm not, I can't believe.
So when you say where are the adults that should have been her mom saying, because I'll tell you what, if Tracy called me and said, oh, we're going to go on a vacation, we're going to pretend that Kyle's not there, I'd be like, yeah, y'all, everybody check into a hospital.
Well, let me tell you about the adults in Pam's room. The adults, her mom and dad sent her brother a Christmas card.
Oh, yes.
After not sending him a Christmas card for almost 10 years. Now, I wonder why they sent this Christmas card this year, understanding what the brother gave us information on. Mm-hmm. Almost like, and the way the brother told me that the Christmas card was, it gave off an air of malicious intent.
This year they sent him this card, that's what you're saying?
Yeah, they sent him a Christmas card. Yeah. Basically, after not sending him a Christmas card for almost 10 years. Basically like, oh, hi, Merry Christmas. But, and that's what, you know, we always thought, you know, because Greg, he gave us so much information, all of which, aside from the little piddly sibling stuff, backed up by public information.
That's right.
Which is also stuff that we have given off, that she's suing us for,
but not
backed up from public information, but not her brother. Now, all of a sudden, he gets a Christmas card from his parents after almost 10 years not getting one. You know, these are the adult, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know what their intent was, but to me, it seems sus. These are the adults in her room. And
it's sad. I mean,
everybody that's talking that knew her from adolescence into young adult, she only liked her parents when they did everything that she wanted them to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's lucky she could have parents that were able to do anything she wanted them to do, because I grew up in a family that had the best parents, and I'm sure everybody else can, you know, can or cannot say that. My parents were struggling with a mother who literally I had a mother who was in Mount Sinai in New York for 4 years, the first bout of cancer. That was when I was 5. For her good luck charm, when she cleared cancer, her first mammogram, breast cancer, that went on for another 4 years. Commingle that with my grandfather having pancreatic cancer. All we ever did in my life was cancer, but I'm going to tell you something. There was zero chance that if we asked something during all of that for a toy that cost a lot of money or anything, but we had a good life, but we weren't getting all that. If we stepped out of line, my father would have, it wouldn't have been a good idea.
Right.
He was a disciplinarian like I am. You just don't do it, and I don't understand, what went on there. And you cannot blame other people for your problems.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. That doesn't work. This isn't one of these, I likened it because I have a lot of people in my family that are teachers, and teachers often get not my kid do that. Let me tell you, if I even got a hint of my kid doing something wrong, it was my kid. And when you're done punishing him, he comes home to me. So that's how people get successful in life, because they have to own it.
Well, because accountability is the hurdle you need to cross when you get into adulthood. Now, speaking of cancer, Teresa, I have a question. There was a time where Pam was telling a group, we think for pity sales, that she had melanoma. What do you know about that?
I only know that she said it. I know she said and in the group, I've never discussed it with her personally. I know she went to a doctor, and again, she posted this, and then it just went away. That's all I know.
So she didn't tell you, as somebody who was close to her, that she was going in for second opinions, that she was getting a biopsy? No? Zero.
Because last night we also learned that in high school she claimed she had skin cancer too.
Yeah, she claimed she had skin cancer also in high school.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. One of her high school friends who did the AMA last night said that she claimed that in high school as well. And they never
no, she never discussed it with me. I only saw what was in the group at the time. And to be perfectly fair, and I think I told Nita this today, I don't know when that all ended with I think it was something on her cheek, right? I left the group. I blocked all of those accounts back in the fall last year. And I blocked their phone numbers. I'd had it. I was done. So if that unfolded after that, but no, she never personally discussed it with me.
No. Okay. You think she would if she knew somebody?
Well, you would. And I also pointed out to Nita, too, with this lawsuit, what strikes me are the omissions of things that aren't being sued for.
Like what?
Nita, let me see. Let me get into my text this morning. Because my brain is fried. I haven't had sleep yet.
Thank you for coming with us, Teresa.
Thank you for showing up.
Not a problem. Something just came to me. I said, did I say this to you on Saturday, I think? The complaint does not mention anything about Pam's weight loss, use of anything that helped her or didn't help her. Wasn't that a topic of discussion? I mean, I think that was a topic of discussion in the group, yet she's not, complaining that you guys discussed it.
Right. Same with the foreclosure.
The pre-foreclosure.
The pre-foreclosure. Same thing with her diet, all that diet stuff, all the house stuff, all the pool stuff. None of that is mentioned.
Also mentioned that we were told that
you would
she
think,
had a lien against the
can't. I'm thinking, how are they cherry picking? What is this cherry picking? Why is it?
All of this stuff with Carlos.
I don't understand it.
And the underwear under the bed, which was my favorite story of all. That was choice.
It's just interesting.
It's interesting what she decided the 15 items.
Which all boils down to three things.
That's right. Matt's job, he
didn't get fired.
He didn't get fired. He quit. He resigned. Okay. Either way, he didn't have a job. How about that? Which we have theories on. The fake accounts. So let's get back to that for just a second.
Okay, talk about that. I got to go to the bathroom.
Okay, for just a second. So Pam claims in the lawsuit, in the complaint, that there were accounts. Somebody had set up a Facebook account with her name, and they were posting things in that account, similar to what we were posting, what had been posted on Reddit, with the exception of Do you remember when on a live, Noelle came and said, "Mommy, where are you? It's dark." I can't even remember the whole thing because to me it was just absolutely insane. But that.
I wasn't on social media at that point, I think. I
all
don't
right.
do that at all. No.
But we know that Pam creates fake accounts. We know
Correct.
she does that. Would it be a far reach to think that she would make a fake account, Facebook account, and blame us, blame other people on it, about it? To me, no.
No, I wouldn't think so because I'm if I remember correctly, Matt was creating fake accounts to be in the Reddit.
Yes, you're right. And so was Pam. Because the night that they came to the Reddit group, both of them came. There were two separate accounts that came that day. And one provided his, proof of whatever, his participation certificates. And the other one was in the same thread saying, that he, all this kind of stuff about how wrong people were, yada, yada. They were not coordinating. So.
Yeah, well, that was the same night that they provided me with Nita's information, told me they didn't know her, because I'm like, who is she to you?
Right.
They don't know her. And then I found out later that there was I barely ever pay attention to Instagram stories unless they're posted by my son. And I barely pay attention to anything on social media at this point anyway. And, I have no Facebook account, no messaging, nothing like that anymore. I've been, ground to a nub at this point this year. And I said to somebody said that, I can't remember who, but that Nita had been threatened. So then I went and looked, and sure enough, there she is threatening her. And I'm like, this is the result of what happened last night, that you're threatening this woman? I don't play that way. I literally work with law enforcement too on a daily, and I've been stalked. So people understand this. I work with high profile people all the time. I'm on the phone with them every day. And I have had people show up on my property numerous times. I've had to file police reports. Pam knows that. Pam does know that. It was a state trooper. No, at this time it was a county sheriff. Show up here to fill out a police report while this person was this stupid, was still threatening me and typing out on social media threatening me. That's how stupid this person was, using their real name. I've had these people, then that person had been on my property not once, but 3 times that day.
So would it surprise you if we would tell you our theory that we think the person behind FAR presentation and all of the other Reddit accounts that threatened and harassed the 4 of us, Mom, I, Sweet, and Pammy Cakes in the Reddit, she threatened all of us. Would you be surprised to say that we think that it may be all just Pam creating fake accounts to threaten us through our Reddit group?
It's somebody it's either her or somebody that's related to that group. Yeah. I don't know if she is doing it herself or it's somebody that's in that crew. I don't know. I haven't seen any of that because honest to God, I haven't even looked. I didn't know until Rosie told me a couple that she thought she was living in Florida. I had no idea she was a teacher in Florida. I've been out of this for months and months and months. I had not looked at Reddit, nothing.
So did you know
Zero.
that her dream was to be a teacher?
I had no idea she wanted to be a teacher.
Oh.
No, she always wanted to be something in psychology is the last time I knew.
That's exactly right.
Because we were led to believe that her entire life's dream was to be a teacher in Florida.
No, I know she was working towards a master's degree. I know she had expressed that she was interested in psychology. And then she stopped that when she started the LuLaRoe, but I never heard her say she wanted to be a teacher.
Never. So this never
Never.
was her dream.
That's right.
So
Never.
this was a pivot because something else was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So, I mean, if she wanted to be a teacher, but she never mentioned it. Again, if I left the group earlier and she said something after that, somebody can correct me.
Well, I mean, she has changed hats many, many times. Or she wanted to be a teacher. She wanted to be criminal
Lawyers want to work in the legal department.
child psychology.
That's right. That was another one.
Or whatever
An
it was.
influencer, whatever she can do, laying on her couch, totally naked.
I'd like to be a billionaire, but I'm not, so,
Same.
yeah, it astounds me. I guess I'm shocked because it would be so much easier just to go and do what you want to do and be happy,
Right.
not do this because this is ludicrous. First of all, I saw last year a woman in this county that I live in sue not only her soon-to-be ex-husband for something that was completely false, and a town that was, completely in the right for $50 million. She lost horribly. She's getting sued back, let me tell you that, for all the legal fees. And she's ruined her life. I mean, it's not cool. And the things she accused people of are reputation burners, and you just don't do it.
Right.
Now,
And I don't know why she picked the four of you. I don't know the four of you,
Well,
and I
because
don't
she was
understand
able
why
to
she picked the four of
identify
you
us.
because
We're the only ones she could identify. That's why.
she has 10 Jane and John Does.
So that she can add people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To the
well,
lawsuit.
that's wonderful, but it's
Would
still
you
not
say
going
she's
to help the
litigious?
situation, because I read through the complaint. I can't figure it out. I cannot figure out what is the end goal.
Me neither.
Because it's not, I mean, I had a case where it went on for 3 weeks in September where a very high profile person, couple high profile people were falsely accused in federal court. It was federal court. FBI was involved. And I knew they weren't gonna win. The FBI wasn't gonna win that one, and they didn't.
Yeah.
But this is just insanity. I don't understand it.
It's almost like they didn't think 3 steps ahead because of the things that they are complaining us. The burden of proof is on them to say that
Correct.
we're different.
The burden of proof is always on the plaintiff.
Right.
And,
So the 3
sometimes
all 15 complaints boil down to 3 things. That we are the ones that were the downfall of JJ Ray.
The devaluation of the business.
Right.
Yeah.
That we lied, that Matt didn't have his DOD employee. He wasn't an employee anymore. Whether he resigned or not has nothing to do. The end result was that he's no longer working there. And then the other one was that we made the fake accounts. Right. So all of these things and also that we painted a bad light saying that he sexually harassed people. So yesterday in the AMA, we had the angel that said that they did in fact buy a tent because they felt awkward changing in front of Matt Webster. Also the fact that they created fake profiles to stalk non-desirables and also discuss heighten up in the live sales when she wasn't selling live, right? So
which we knew
that wasn't us. So all of these things, she has to then provide proof. So she has to subpoena Facebook. She has to subpoena comments sold. She has to subpoena the government.
Reddit.
But also the government for any DOD ID, because we are saying, I did submit a complaint to the OIG. Yes, I did. Whatever happens to that, report was up to the DOD, not me.
Right.
Right? And you can attest to that. We are actually encouraged to report fraudulent activity to the IRS, to the ABC and agencies as American citizens, right?
Correct. As a former tax agent, I'm required to do that. I have an obligation. I would be held to penalty of law or imprisonment of up to 40 years.
Mm-hmm. So we're having questions in the group, Teresa. How often did you communicate with Pam? Was it daily?
No, not
Weekly?
at all. She would frequently not respond. And that was one of my end all with her. You could have called, we were going back and forth because the last straw really was she mentioned in one of the lies at the end, the list of people, and then I was trying to call her because there was this person who went in on Chelsea and she wasn't answering the phone. Well, you could have called Matt. I did call Matt.
Oh, okay.
And where were you people? And she said she was too busy getting ready for a live or whatever. But it was just bullshit. And I said I have the right to be pissed. Also, and I mentioned, not for nothing here, Pam. It's freaking 3:00 in the morning. But, it's just, you wish you came to me with this first. No, I'm sorry. I didn't come to you with this first because I'm in there swinging the bat trying to save my integrity because I'm not going to have it impugned. I have other things riding on the line. Right. I don't know who's in that group.
But if she had not said, Teresa, send me the names. Teresa's been taking down the names. If she hadn't said that, you wouldn't even be in it.
So, yeah. So Teresa, were you actually collecting names of people that you found identities in the Reddit group? Because she was saying that you were. You had a list.
I sent her there were a couple of names. They weren't real people though. There were a couple names that were like, want to be a book or something, or some weird names. They were made up names. I did not send her real people.
Read a book. R-I-T-A, a book.
Rita, her book.
Oh, I loved Rita.
Yeah, something like that. I sent her a couple of names like that, but I had sent them to her the day before.
Because she was alluding to a fact that you had actual list of names.
Right.
Oh, no, I didn't have a list of names. I sent her a list, a couple of names. It wasn't like this list of hit list of like, all of these real names that were in there, the people that you see every day. They were, like you said, read a book, I guess. I don't know. So I can't remember, but they were not real names.
No. Right.
So the day before the shit hit the fan, basically, I sent them. And it may have been 3 people. I'd have to go back. And this is way back, so I'll have to go way back. And I can send the text tomorrow to Anita and say, listen, I already sent what you were asking for. Why are you throwing me on the rails? And you didn't do anything with it. These people aren't even real names.
Well, she was throwing anybody out to the wolves to see who can cover for her, because she didn't like that we were out there telling truth about her, honestly.
Right, and at that point, I didn't even know there was a Reddit group.
Yeah. And the funny thing is 1,700 people, I would say about 80% of that said the same. They didn't know that the Reddit group existed if it weren't for Pam.
That's right. They would not be in the group if Pam didn't advertise for us, didn't obsess over the Reddit group.
Yep, I had no idea it was a Reddit group, zero chance. And then I personally found it myself. I didn't even find it because I guess she showed it one day or something.
Yeah, she did.
I went out and I'm like, something's fishy here. Googled and found the Reddit group on my own.
Googled. So you use Google. That's great. Good. That's wonderful.
Yeah, you can use Google and find a lot of things, can't you?
Yeah,
I mean, it's amazing. It's a treasure trove.
Yeah. And then, who knows? But like I said, that's my job. I skip trace for the tax department. And, if people don't understand what skip tracing is, you go find that person and wherever they are and their property and their whatever, if they owe you money, you're going to find out how you're going to collect
And
it.
the fun fact,
So
this is why public addresses are public information. Fun fact.
You can find anything anywhere today.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. It's just, it never disappears. If it's on the internet, it will never disappear.
Never go away, which
Zero chance.
a lot of her lives that she tried to dirty delete, we still have because of that.
Yeah, well, it'll never, even down the road, if you wanted it, you're going to get it. If you subpoena something for that, it's there. It's never going to disappear.
Now, I do have a question about Ashley Hernandez, because about a few months ago, we had, first question, do you know who Krista Marie is?
Krista
Who is
Forte.
it?
Krista Marie Forte.
Right, or Marie Forte, because she goes by Krista Marie or Krista Marie Forte.
No, I don't know that person.
Okay. Now, she's very fun in our group. She had spent a lot of time threatening Mom and I, and also other members of our group. Now, we don't know if this person is real or not. There's a lot of theories out on this, but.
Is this in the new group? I've never even heard that name.
No, even in the old one, Krista Marie, she came in as mundane, as remarkable bored. She had a lot of different usernames in Reddit, and a lot of them of which she had used to threaten Mom and I, as well as the other two.
Was she the one, Anita, was she the one that, we'll have to go back and look. Was she the one that was really giving me trouble and then started to message me, and you and I just, you went and told her to knock it off? Is that the same person that was calling me a bitch and everything?
That was Idaho. Yes,
Idaho, yep, that's the same person. Now,
okay.
This woman, about a few months ago, was on a tirade about Ashley Hernandez, and how she thought Ashley Hernandez was a username in our Reddit group called Low Trunk.
That's right.
Low Truck, which Low Truck is not Ashley Hernandez. But
no.
She kept harping and harping and harping on this, almost like as if this woman, who was kind of connected to Pam Webster, but had the same level of vendetta against Ashley Hernandez, and trying to dox her out in the group, saying Low Truck is Ashley Hernandez. Now, she was not. I am wondering, and I don't know if you're comfortable or if you have information on this, what happened between Pam Webster and Ashley Hernandez? Because I feel like this Krista Marie is either Pam or someone who does Pam's dirty work on social media. Do you know of anything that happened between the falling out of Ashley Hernandez and Pam Webster? And are you comfortable talking about that?
I know it, but it's Ashley's story to tell. And, I can tell you Ashley's a really good person, and she's going through some of the stuff I'm going through.
Okay.
And nobody should have a problem with Ashley. Zero people. She's a really good person.
Well, we respect that, and it just says a lot.
And if somebody's dissing Ashley, they got problems with me.
See, and that's the thing. Patterns of behavior when Pam came out and called you a turkey.
Right.
I know.
And then now she's in our group trying to dox Ashley Hernandez as a member of our Reddit group. Patterns of behavior.
Best predictor of future behavior is immediate past behavior.
So
all of this is
Ashley, I would love to talk to you. We would love to talk to you. We just want to know the story. Whether or not you want it out or not, I just know that there's something else in addition to that we're missing, that has something to go along with Pam's a terrible person.
Yeah, no, there's, again, Ashley's story is Ashley's story. She's a good person. She's a very good person. But again, we're riding kind of the same wave this past year. It's really hard.
And Teresa, I experienced tremendous loss. 2024, I say, is a fever dream for me. I also lost my dad very abruptly. this year.
I know you did. I'm really sorry.
It's okay. It happens. But, you know,
For lawyers and stuff is, you know.
Bringing this,
you know, so, and that's the thing, like, I spoke with Rosie. I mean, it's no secret now, and I'm sorry, Rosie, but yes, I spoke with Rosie. Things that we've talked with Rosie about have not made it to our Reddit page because we have
respect
integrity.
Rosie, right, and Rosie would rather we didn't yet. say
Right.
anything.
Yes,
Which is
so
fine.
we're just waiting for green lights from a lot of people. And I just feel like it helps. And it's so funny because we've never met I've never met Pam. I've met her husband. I've never heard of anyone this narcissistic, and actually have met people that have dealt with the aftermath of dealing with somebody like a Pam Webster, right? And have their stories be so similar and along the same lines. So no matter how she tries to spin and recreate the absolute truth, we have all these corroborating stories, you know, of people
I mean,
that have
it's,
come
you know,
forward.
somebody at some time has to realize there, like you said, I really didn't know the group was that big, 1,700. I didn't look at the number. You know, if there's that many people in there, there's a problem not with the people in there. There's a problem with the person that they're in there for, I guess.
Right.
You know, I work with a lot of people. You know, I'm not working now professionally. I volunteer to do that ethics board. I was an assistant commissioner for aging in the county for years. I've worked with some serious hard cases for sexual assault and violence and suicide prevention. There's some bad stuff that goes on in the world, and this doesn't raise to the level of what's going on right now.
Teresa,
And you know,
I
you
have
should
I have a
just
question real quick.
Teresa,
Yeah.
Go.
So is Matt an alcoholic?
I never saw a sign of it. Never saw a sign of it. I was surprised to hear that was the. I never saw anything like that with Matt.
Did she tell you that one of the gay uncles, I hate saying gay uncles, but one of the gay uncles hit her children?
The story I heard, and it wasn't from her, was that one of them reprimanded MJ, and that was the end of that relationship. That was not directly from her, though, so that's hearsay. Okay. But they were not, that was it. They were gone. They moved to Myrtle Beach to be closer to them, and then all of a sudden, see you later, which is a shame because Terry and Jimmy were friends of theirs since Matt and Pam's honeymoon. They all met on the honeymoon. Mm-hmm. And they were part of Grayson and MJ's family forever. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I just don't understand what happened, the truth. So it's very sad.
We heard her on video saying that that one of them struck her children,
her child,
which is not correct.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, my kid stepped out of line and I'm not there. Well, of course, he's 31 now, so he better not do anything he needs to be hit for. But when I had him and he was little, and somebody else was, you know, watching out for him, and he was doing something, you know, that needed that kind of discipline, then I guess that should have happened. But I doubt that one of those uncles hit the kids.
I doubt it also.
It's not true.
It's not true.
It's not true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've talked to one of them.
Yeah, they're not. They don't strike me as the type of people that would do that.
People that we've talked to that Pam doesn't understand how many people have come to us after finding our Reddit group. It's astounding. And not one person has found us and said, you have it all wrong. Not a one.
No one.
No.
You know,
it's just, you know, if they're truly happy, both Matt and Pam now, with whatever they're doing, and again, I'm not up to speed on that. I've been out for a while. I wish that they would just do that and not torture other people's lives.
Right. Over the holidays.
Right. It's not easy, because I'm going to tell you, I've ridden the last year with people who I know being stuck in bunkers in Israel.
Yes.
And I have people that I know that are in the IDF, and it's just these things. This is frivolity. That is just, I don't understand it. And I can tell you, going through a trial is agony. And I watched a very good friend of mine that I literally every night kept off a ledge. In September, because it was brutal. And that was jail time he was facing because a person lied about him.
Right. Well,
so this stuff isn't cool.
Well, no.
The other thing I'm worried about with the lawyers that are, or lawyer, I'm always a big thing with garbage in, garbage out. That's more of an accounting term. If you take in the word of these people and believe what's going on there, just based on, what, I don't know, it's and not listened to. I'm understanding that they may be in the group. You could be in big trouble. This could sink you could really, with your license and everything, be done. I mean, I work with top of the line lawyers. I don't play when I've encircled myself. Pam knows this too. I offer to help her with some of my attorneys, and some of my attorneys are the top in the country. I don't play when it comes to legal matters.
Well,
and Pam's very aware of that, because I've offered to help her with, say, FBI forms, and she refused to take my offer on those things. For like when she lost her FBI forms, when she lost her Facebook account, and things like that, and she never took me up on those offers.
I'm sorry, my mind is blown.
Did you see in the complaint, you got a copy of the complaint, did you see in the complaint where Matt filled out a form to the FBI claiming that they were being stalked? Well, I'm positive
that he probably got that number of the form from me sending the number of the form to Pam.
See.
Wow. Teresa, you have been a pleasure.
We loved every moment. Thank you. Thank you.
I try to stay level-headed, and I'm praying that, this helps. And I hope that, if Pam and Matt are listening, or they listen to this later, I really, I try really hard. This is hurtful, Pam and Matt. This is hurting people. This is ill-willed. You need to take a really good long time to sit and reflect. Trying to hurt you. These people are really good people that I'm talking to now. Nita and Tracy, you even if you have differences with people, don't do this. This is bad.
Right.
And you're opening yourself up for a whole huge Pandora's box here. This is not cool. I don't want anybody hurt. It's already been happening, and it's not good. And that's the nice of me. I cannot be nice. Don't make me not be nice. Because that's not a side of people want to see of me. And then it's not a threat. I just don't want anybody hurt. They've already been hurt. You have Nita, you have the other Nita, Tracy, the other people I don't know. You have your employees that have been hurt. I'm astounded by that. Absolutely astounded. I can't. I'm so sad about that. And I saw some of those text messages that went back and forth. I literally can't with that. I don't operate that way. And it really needs to be taken under some consideration. Plus, these tax issues that seem to be, on the
And
people,
it's
what they're
funny
saying,
because
that's going to be a big problem.
We didn't get served our suit until I started really ramping up the hashtag IRS in our group.
Mhm.
Which hashtag was that? I didn't hear you, Tracy.
IRS.
Oh, okay. Well, then
And it
they
was a couple weeks after
they
that
know
we got
that,
served.
that's not going to stop anybody from,
I mean,
Yeah.
as I said, ABC agencies encourage American citizens to report fraud.
absolutely. You're not even a whistleblower at that point. That's
Absolutely.
not whistleblowing. That's just doing it.
Due diligence, yes.
Yeah, that's doing what you're supposed to do.
Mhm.
So I just don't understand it. And doing what I did for a living at the tax department, let me tell you something. That's serious stuff.
Mhm.
That's jail time stuff. If that's what happened. If that's what happened.
And
Like I said, there's a lot of people saying it happened.
and we will go there if we have to.
Right. That's that Barbara Streisand effect.
Is in motion now.
That's
It's
right.
full effect.
Full effect. Full effect.
Teresa,
Full effect.
we hope you have
Full
a
effect.
wonderful 2025.
It's
Yeah,
gotta be
well,
better.
we'll be in
Much better
touch,
than
and
what 2024
everybody
was.
happy, holidays, and let's see if somebody takes sound advice for once.
Very good.
Exactly.
That's perfect.
I
And
know we will be in contact after this, but again, thank you for calling in.
Much love to you all.
Yes,
I'll
you
talk
too.
to you tomorrow, Teresa.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye. Well, my friends,
Well,
that kind of went
everyone.
out of order. We weren't
Yeah.
expecting Teresa to call so promptly.
She's a good girl.
Yes. Thank you, Teresa, for taking the time out to do this. Yes. So from Teresa's call, we took away that Pam called her at 3:00 in the morning to get ahead of a story of Teresa finding out that somebody was posing as her in our Reddit group under.
And it had it posted to a live
Mhm.
under Teresa Sullivan's name. It's interesting because who would be able to register easily a common sold account with someone else's name and be
Right.
able to use that to comment on a live of Chelsea's
Under somebody
under
else's
somebody
name.
else's name.
And then tell that person at 3:00 in the morning
Right. To
that
get ahead
that's
of
what
the
had
story.
happened.
Right.
Right?
Because it broke in the Reddit group,
Mhm.
in the old Reddit group.
And I remember us being like, oh my God, there's so many different Teresa Sullivans.
Right.
We weren't doing that, but there were people in there being Teresa Sullivan. I remember that.
Mhm.
And it was all funny, haha, at the time for us because,
We knew it wasn't us. So
yeah.
Didn't matter.
But isn't that funny?
Yeah,
Isn't that funny? And to coincide with Think's AMA yesterday of how Pam would regularly use information from Comment Sold to create fake accounts to interact with shoppers
Mhm.
on her own lives when she wasn't doing them.
Interesting.
So there's that. There's also the part of Think saying that they were paid via PayPal. We've seen screenshots of Pam saying that you won't be getting your payment through, I'm assuming, a personal PayPal account, but rather than the business PayPal account. And that brought up the questions of if they had a separate PayPal account, they still could have went
And gotten
a PPP. Well, what happened? Why didn't they?
You crack me up whenever you say that.
Well, that's something because you say it a lot.
I know.
What happened to the PPP? Was it because, not that they didn't have two different accounts, because they could have easily kept things separate, even through PayPal?
Right, as long as they had a business account and a personal account, but apparently.
It has something more along the lines to do with what we assume, in our opinion, from things that were given to us, right,
Mhm.
was that they were paid, but no adequate records were kept.
And remember, Matt is their accountant.
That's why we call him Math,
Right.
because they did have an accountant, but then they got rid of that accountant, and Matt took over the numbers, because he's a math guy. So that's why, no, he even told my husband that he's the math guy. So Math Webster came. So, I mean, we don't do things of what they tell us.
Right, we're not going to go find stuff. People bring it to us.
And let me tell you that Teresa talked to Mom about a day before I even arrived here. Things just fall into our laps.
Right.
We're not out here trying to stalk, STOCK, people. You know, people just come to us. So, which is great, because.
Right, and we're hopeful to have other people come to us.
Yes.
So we want to make a plea to Chelsea.
Because, wait,
Oh.
first,
Okay.
let's go, okay, so
We'll
we
go
did
down
with
the-
Teresa.
Sorry, okay, sorry. I'm out
This is
of
why
line.
we wanted the
I'm out of
tent,
line.
this is why we wanted the red dress tent outfits, so we could be like,
Right, check it off. Yeah, and I'm supposed to go, yeah, you're right, I'm screwing up mine, go ahead, and
you're supposed to
I'll
make
do your
noises
backup.
of
That's
agreement.
right, with my mouth, yes, okay.
Okay, wait, all right, okay. So, Teresa, we went over just the highlights of Teresa's conversation. Pam did, so they suggested to Pam not to commingle business with,
They did. The
business
personal.
with personal.
Right,
They didn't listen. Pam doxed Mom in a severe way. Not just the threat on her IG stories, but she actually took the information that Mom had in comments sold and spread it to people outside of the boutique. So outside of the people who ran the boutique. So customers, top bots. She accused Freckled Poppy of the Reddit page, not us. We have a whole thread. This is part of the Festivus activities. The receipts that Teresa sent us to back up what she told us, we are going to then post them so that we can further dissect them. You know how we do. Pam woke up at 3 a.m. to get ahead of someone posing as Teresa, using other email addresses to create fake accounts.
Sure.
Backs up to Think's testimony of saying that she used other customers' personal information to create fake accounts, to then interact with people, shopping lives that she wasn't doing. Okay. The Tough Decision Live in Hawaii, that she was going to have to make tough decisions while she was on the beach in Hawaii. Okay. The girls had no clue. They were freaking out, and Teresa had to calm them down. They were afraid for their jobs over the holidays. And this is something we didn't go over with Teresa, because this is something that we always discuss. The people that, like the uncles, Teresa, Rosie even, Anita, these people are from higher statures of society.
that's right, they're not.
They're not one of us. I mean, like, not a normie. Like, these women, these families are well-to-do and highly educated. And how they got fooled by a Pam Webster, I have no idea. And the thing that we always see, common thread, is they don't know either. How it happened, how they were fooled by her, and they always come out with the same saying, I am embarrassed.
I feel stupid.
I feel stupid of the hold that she had over my life, right? So I've heard that from Rosie. I've heard that from other people, other angels, and you've seen it in text too. I take these women out for lunch.
Right,
I take them out on vacations.
right.
I pay their whole way, right?
I'm taking Meg to New Zealand.
Taking Meg to New Zealand. Actually, also Meg was a side friendship
Mhm.
if it wasn't for Chelsea, which is reason to believe that when Meg was going to New Zealand and all these other trips when Shell was staying behind, there was something going on between Pam and Shell.
Mhm.
That's
She
our,
would take Meg.
yeah, she was taking Meg to give a
Send a
message
message.
to
Mhm.
Shell. That's our theory, but we'll see. We'll get back to that. AMA highlights, employee status PayPal. Now, we went over this a lot with Teresa about, no, Teresa did not work for Pam. She was a high top bot. She started purchasing a lot from LuLaRoe. She got with her as a customer for LuLaRoe. And then when she became JJ Ray, then she followed her
Mhm.
there.
It was a friend of theirs. I mean, of hers and Matt. They had both of their phone numbers, so.
Yes. And it was funny because the only these people that she was friends with were people that she thought would take her places.
Right,
Like,
that she could use whatever their status was, it appears to be.
mhm. That's what it seems like to us. So we went over the employee status, 1099, and Teresa was able to verify some information that Think was saying as well. AMA, along again, AMA highlights. That was a great AMA, by the way. Thank you, Think and Dryside. Oh my
And
goodness.
thank you guys all for asking questions, for being engaged. It worked out great.
It was beautiful.
It was. Read it 100 times.
One of the, if you noticed in that thread, I commented and I
Mhm.
because, and I had to do with the three main things that the complaint has against us. And Think was able to verify that Matt worked for the boutique during government working hours.
Imagine.
You're not supposed to do that, Matt.
People can get fired, Matt, or have to resign.
Well, a tent was purchased because Angels felt awkward changing in front of you, Matt. Almost like teetering on sexual harassment. Sort of, kind of, but I'm telling you, I traveled a lot for my employer. We actually were working remote. I was a remote worker since 2009, so I know exactly what that entails. But we were our travel policies because even same-sex people couldn't share because of the fact that it can teeter on sexual harassment in the workplace, right? So these women had to change a tent and had to purchase a tent so that they can change in front of you. We were also told that in that same AMA that because you had gay vibes that maybe it might have been okay, and also that you were encouraged to think of him as a brother that you were changing in front of.
I don't change in front of my
You had a brother.
That's right. I did not change in front of my brother. He would have died. I would have died.
I
He
have
would've laughed.
brothers-in-law. I would never change in front of them. Never. I'm just saying, and one of them, which is LGBTQ plus
I know.
QIA, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I would never, because I'm an adult.
And you also, it's just good manners.
Mhm.
That's all it is.
So the fact that they had to buy one is telling. Also that Matt was an authority over them as far as discipline, firing.
Mhm.
He was also allowed to watch them change clothes.
So it's not necessarily like changing in front of your brother. It's changing in front of your boss,
Your supervisor,
who is a male.
direct supervisor.
That's the issue, I think, that counts as harassment. But Matt took offense to that, I'm sure.
He did, and he came into my DMs about it and he sent me a dick pic. It was great.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was fun.
I mean, like, that's not harassment. Pam used private customer information to stalk non-desirables, and that Think did say that she did do that, and then Teresa backed that up as well. So, again, not once during our year and a half or a year and
About a half.
a year and a half.
Yeah.
Did anyone come forward and say, you guys have it totally wrong? Actually, all those cooperating evidence that you received is lies. Actually, this is what really happened. Not a one.
Unless it was Pam or Matt, bar presentation,
CMF at
CMF,
all.
that's right, those are the only ones. And that nurse, remember the nurse that came and told us all about how, you know, she might commit suicide? Yeah, she might.
Yeah.
And the chick who sent me all the stuff about how Matt was cheating on Pam, remember that?
Oh, in the beginning, right.
Yeah.
And I don't.
I know that was a lie.
I mean, all of that.
All
stuff.
that
I don't
was
believe
just
Matt was infidelis at all.
absolutely not. No.
I do believe that Pam spread a rumor within her own Facebook group prior to LuLaRoe that Matt was infidelis, but we don't believe that because we know who that story came from.
That's right. We know where that story started.
Yeah, and it
who's
wasn't
really
Matt,
about.
and
Right.
it was, she's a grief thief.
Yeah.
Oh, and coming back to grief thief, remember when she said that that her dad was running around on the news after 9/11?
Yes, I do remember that.
It's my favorite grief thief moment with Pam.
Yes. Yeah. Her dad. That's where she saw him. That
I
was one
mean-
year she said that. And then the other couple of years, the story totally changed.
It just totally changed,
Yeah.
you know. All that to be said, you know, we just know that the people who aren't in her life, I mean, if you think about before the closure of the boutique, Chelsea was in her life all the time, cross-posting, everybody's, you know, happy-go-lucky, my bestie's this, my bestie's that.
Mhm.
And then, you know, don't worry, we're gonna have Chelsea do, what are those, cameos in the new boutique.
Mhm.
And, you know, we're not just gonna drop off and say F you after, you know, denying that the boutique was even for sale and all
Right.
that other stuff. And then come to these Lemonhead liquors page,
Yikes.
right?
Mhm.
Talking about how Shell's gonna be just as active in there. And it's obvious that she isn't. And I wonder why.
Something must have happened. I don't know if it that Shell did not know that the business was going to sell. July 9th, Pam posted a live where she and Chelsea were together, where she talked about how we said the business was going to close, the warehouse was closing in May, and we're still here.
Mhm.
And a little bit more than a week later, she's selling the business. She
Mhm.
says that this was a really quick, it was like over just maybe a weekend, and we sold the business. But the new people had time to purchase merchandise and have it sent to them so that the day after Pam announced that the business had sold and she was done, they could have their own line, not using any of Pam's merchandise. That sale was way thought out. She knew. They all knew. How could you lie like that? Watch when Chelsea, at the last live that Chelsea had, she cried. She was in tears.
It made me feel really bad
Made me
for
feel
her.
sick for her. Because
It was her and Meg,
That's
not
right.
even the last live with Pam.
With
It was
Pam.
her and Meg,
That's right.
and they were just clearing out their warehouse. And Chelsea was crying, and Meg came in because Chelsea was crying. And they were talking about how they've done all these things with this group of people. And the way that it was ending, it did seem like Chelsea was sideswiped.
yeah, it really felt like she was. I mean, she may have known that the business had been evaluated in January. She may have known that. She may have known that the business was for sale. But I'm positive there was no mention probably to her.
And that's messed up.
That is.
Especially since Pam likes to dote about how Shell's blood, sweat, and tears are as invested as her own
That's a
in the
quote.
boutique.
That is
right?
a quote from the live where she announced that the business was for sale.
If somebody were to say that to me, my boss would say that about me. But my boss would also give me about $20 if they sold the business, because in fact, they did do that. was a time where in my company, they sold the company to investors. I got a cut as well as all the other OGs. And then we came back together and now anyway, that's just me, right? But if my boss were to tell me that I was as invested in this company as them, and then the business sold, I would be expecting a check.
Because her words were, Chelsea has done as much, if not more, for the business than I have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you
And we
get
know
this
that.
$200,000, did you give Chelsea $20,000 for
You would
all
think
the?
that if she did, she would come to Florida to visit.
That's exactly right. She'd come not only, and Pam would go to New Jersey
Mm-hmm.
to visit her bestie.
Mm-hmm. We don't hear any word from them anymore. We do see a lot of sightings in the wild.
Yeah, people have said, yeah, that they've
Sightings
seen
in
her.
the wild of Chelsea. And when we hear of sightings in the wild of Chelsea, it's she looks great, she looks happy, she looks healthy.
Mhm.
And it's all because she's away from Pam. And this is more evidence to us when we hear about this, that she is further distancing herself from Pam. Now, I hope that that is the truth,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
We want to make a prediction that after all of this, that Chelsea is going to be active in the
Right.
Lemonade Livers page.
Right. The next 2 weeks, Chelsea will be in there all the time. Pam will be talking about, they're going on a vacation together because she wants to prove us wrong.
Mm-hmm. But I want to say, because we've been in talks with certain people in our group, Chelsea, come to us and talk. Not in a way like we want to hear dirt
Or
on
gossip.
our
or anything.
gossip, because at this point, a year and a half later, we know everything there is to know about Pam Webster. Okay,
All we need to know.
right? It's all muddled in the same category. They all go along the same lines. Okay, anything that you would tell us would not surprise us about her. It's just, I feel that you need space. You need space to come forward and tell your side of the story. As I've heard it from other angels, some top angels, okay? Pam is not innocent in the things that you have been made to do, and the things and how she treated you. She promoted a certain way of how she treated you to outside of in her group. The more that we talk to these angels, the more we know that this is not true. I feel it would be a great benefit for you to even just to come to us and tell your side of the story. We will meet you with no judgment. We will hold the space for you. We will let you tell your side of the story without judging why you were able to go 8 years with Pam Webster. That is way longer than most people under her grasp had come. We would love it if you were to come forward, not even just so that we can be like, oh, we got the tea. It's just seeing you.
There are pieces that are missing, and you hold, Chelsea, an important piece. And so we want to hear what your portion of this is to fill in this puzzle that we're trying to unwrap before we go to court, so that we can go to court.
Because, at the end of the day, we will call you.
You will be subpoenaed.
If we go there,
Yeah.
we will call you.
If Pam makes us go there, because that's what it all boils down to, is that she has asked for this. She wants to go to court. She wants to have
She wants a jury.
She wants everybody to know her story. And I'm all for that. Because we've already told her story. I'm interested in what her real story could be. But discovery is going to be lit. She does not want all of this to come out.
And to say that we've heard stories of her mistreatment of you, that I wanted to come out and tell this group about the treatment that she has done to you where it broke my heart. And I cannot come out and tell it because, as Teresa said, we all say it's not our story to tell, right? But so just to give you an example, that this is a space, we may say our things, but it's because, you know, it takes a certain amount of gumption to come forward. And yes, things may have panned out in a way that were not as how you would have done it, or, you know, if it's just, there's always another side.
Right.
We know Pam's side.
Right, right.
And we know all these other angel side. And everybody that has come to us, things fit together, you know. All I'm saying is that we know that you have your side and you deserve your truth to be told. We will hold space for you in a non-judgmental way. We will not attack you, okay? We're just here for open ears, open arms, however you feel comfortable, but please, we're not scary.
And we're not afraid.
And we're not afraid. We will hold the mantle for you, because obviously we're holding it for 1,700 other
people. That's right.
people. So, yeah, we listen, we do not judge. We snark, we don't stalk. You know,
That's exactly right.
It's all this, and that's the main thing. When Pam came out and served us for each with $15 million lawsuit, she thought, this is my opinion, she thought, and moms too, is that we would see the $15 million and we'd be like, up, shut it down. We're not going to say one more thing.
She has never met, well, she's never met people like us that are like, what do you, what?
Mm-hmm. No, because everything we're saying is opinion
And the truth.
based in theory and also from her own words.
That's right.
So I do want to go over, I mean, we're already getting to the 2 hour mark. Maybe we can do it.
Those people will be coming soon.
Yeah.
And that's a mess.
We ushered people out. The rest of the week, we want to, I would like to do a game of theory and opinion. What happened to the $40 million of product that she sold through JJ Ray and LLR, and what they have to show for it?
Yeah.
We're gonna open that thread of what happened.
Right. What do you think happened?
Yes, of why they had to sell everything.
And move to her dream place from the swamp to dirt in Florida.
The dirt yard with a Freedom Boat rental membership.
Right. And
All
chickens in the
things.
backyard.
All things she said she would never do.
That's right. Right. Never live in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Never. And what did I see? Last night on the AMA, somebody was talking about how Pam downgraded public schools. And now she is a public school teacher and says she never said anything bad about public schools.
Mm-hmm. And this was her dream, and
This was her
Teresa
dream the whole time. Teresa said no.
Teresa
never
just said no, she never heard. This is somebody that has known her since LuLaRoe, because that's how Teresa came across Pam, was because she was shopping LuLaRoe, and it was trendy at the time. So ever since then, Teresa has known Pam.
And we all know that Pam tells about her dreams or hopes, whatever that might be, every time she does a live and there's a wall. Then she talks about herself. And
Yeah.
so we would know if that was her dream. Because one time she said her dream was to be a school counselor. Then she wanted to do something in a legal field. But I guess all along it was being a second grade teacher in a Title I school district in Florida.
Where she always said that she never would be in Florida. She never want to live there. And it's just so funny how it all panned out. How it all panned out. How it all panned out. You know, never not, you know, she is the epitome of don't ever say never, because here you are.
That's
here you
right.
come. Never not nevering like you've never done before.
That's right. That's right. Pam didn't learn that.
No, she did not.
Did not learn that. Yeah.
You know, and I feel like it's quite the lack of mama last 6 months has been deafening. Not, I mean, the silence has been deafening to me. That even when she's there, she's not there. She doesn't want to hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, with the cryptic Christmas card sent to the brother.
We haven't heard hide nor hair of her dad. He could be.
Oh yeah, you know.
They haven't gone on vacation together, and I'm not too sure where they are on vacation. Not that I really care.
I mean, it doesn't even matter.
I don't care. My question is, why does she think we care? Why does she think anybody cares about?
Why does she want us to care?
Right. Because she's not doing that for her bots and the lemonade. She's doing all of this for us, for the 1,700 to me.
Yeah. So wherever she is during her Christmas vacation, we know that she's tuned into us right now.
Hi, hon.
I hope that settles well with you.
I do too.
You know, so the rest of this week, we are going to be going over Teresa's screenshots. We're going to dissect the different things that she has sent us so that we can post those to the group to further back up of what she had given to us. Because again, we don't make up things. People come to us with things and we just report the news. All of this is in our opinion and based off of information given to us, and it's really just a game of opinion and theory.
Right, well, because we don't have, Pam doesn't come and say, you know, she's not in here saying, no, that's not how it happened. None of her friends have come and said, no, that's not how it happened. So the only option we have is to believe what we are told. That's it. And so Pam, again, if it's really accurate that we're lying or stalking you, or all the people that have spoken to us over the last year and a half are lying, where is your proof?
Right.
Bring it. I'd love to see it.
Because I actually have a harassment report from the Manchester Township Police that says that Pam Webster is stalking me, harassing me.
And this is stalking, STALKING.
I have that. It's
Totally
great.
different. Yeah, than what's going on there.
It's fun.
So, yeah.
Oh, I think they're home now. Oh, Gentleman Knox is telling us that our family is home.
Just a minute. Let me go.
So, as much as we want to continue this live, I know kind of went out of order, kind of feels all lackadaisical. I love that this airing probably while Pam and Math are still in air en route to their destination. Scream, she will scream when she sees this, for sure. I don't know where she's going. I haven't heard from the moles in her private group yet about where she's going, but
Somebody said Australia. Somebody said
hilarious.
Australia.
Yeah, so funny. But yes, Knox. Oh, there they are. Okay, so we will cut it off short. We had a great time with you guys. Continue to tune in to the group the rest of the week, where we will continue our feats of strength, airing of grievances, and Festivus miracles.
Okay.
So stay tuned. It's going to be not a wild ride, but a good ride.
It's going to be fun. And Merry Christmas to all of you. If we don't, tomorrow's Christmas.
Tomorrow we're going to be kind of quiet for the next 2 days. Because we do enjoy our family time.
We don't get much of it.
I know, yeah. It is fun. As much as fun as we have snarking on Pam, we have more fun cooking and being together. So we'll continue posting our screenshots, serving up the tea, and hopefully we are meeting some other key players
This week
for lunch and brunches, and hopefully we'll have more to report on, more on the nanny front. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Not her being a nanny, but people that homeschool her children.
Right, a nanny for her.
So maybe hopefully we can provide insight on those questions that were given to think at the time that she wasn't able to answer.
Right.
Okay? So with that, happy Festivus.
We love you guys.
Merry whatever that you celebrate. Happy whatever that
Kwanzaa.
you celebrate.
That's right.
Diwali, Kwanzaa. We love you
Hanukkah.
all. Hanukkah, yes. We love you all. And peace out. Ah! How do I end this thing? Oh my God.